31 Days of Horror with Mark.
Hiya, welcome to 31 Days of Horror with this guy, me, Mark, and a wee bit of Necronomicon behind me there. So, conscious I have kind of done one of these in a few days, so I'm just going to do a quick roundup of the newer things that I watched recently, just to kind of pretty much give you recommendations. So, first thing, a new thing I watched was on Saturday, which was the House of Wax remake from 2005. Now, I'd heard incredibly bad things about this. Like, it was supposed to, it was like trash, it was shit, and obviously, like, Paris Hilton had been cast in it, so everybody's like, bah, she's shit as well and stuff. Got to say, I actually quite enjoyed it. The gore's really good. It's creepy, and as well as it kind of being quite creepy, practical effects are top notch. So I don't really kind of get the thinking behind like, oh, it's crap, I don't like it, me. Potentially it was just kind of coming. Well, I mean, there was like a wave of remakes, like early 2000s. So that was obviously one of them. But you had like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, you had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which I quite like. The former, I don't care for the Nightmare on Elm Street remake at all, and you'll probably know that if you kind of watched any of my videos beforehand. So yeah, did not care for that one. My Bloody Valentine came out around about the same time and all that kind of stuff as well. So it was like this little tranchy kind of horror remix that just kind of kept coming out like year after year, Friday the 13th and so on and so forth kind of thing. And so that's possibly why, but I mean, again, I didn't really kind of get the ire, as it says, for a film that's, I think, very loosely based on the original. It does the same thing, as it says, it's quite gory. Paris Hilton, not that bad. Like, didn't get me wrong, I can't really kind of see her winning an Oscar or anything, but I wasn't sitting there going, oh my god, she's terrible, get her off the screen kind of thing. Might have something to do with the fact that they gave her like limited kind of dialogue maybe, but again, not that bad. As I say, the gore was like top notch, and as the practical effects and the makeup effects and everything were all really cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Then following on from House of Wax, I watched so I think I watched Christine again. I'm not going to talk about Christine. You guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about Christine, so I'm talk about Christine. The original Dawn of the Dead. I watched the Cannes extended cut, so I think that's the cut I'm most used to, the 2019 one. Love that film. Like, it's just awesome. I watched the remake last year as well. Surprisingly kind of good as well. Mentioning remakes again. And then I watched The Possession of Hannah Grace. So that was a new one for me. So I'll talk a bit about that. So Possession of Hannah Grace is just a bit a lass who's got a troubled past and what have you. So she takes a kind of night shift job in a mortuary, and then one night they bring in like a corpse and weird shit starts happening. It was okay, but my primary thought for the entire thing is like, somebody's watched the autopsy of Jane Doe. You know, it was just it just seemed very, very similar. I mean, I wouldn't kind of straight up call it a rip off, not at all, but I mean, it was very everything about it. I was just sitting there going, Autopsy Jane Doe done it better, because it did. So I was a wee bit like, I mean, as it says, was a shite film, but it's probably not the best either. So yeah, I kind of didn't really kind of rate that high. And then, so the next again day, so yesterday, I watched a twofer. So I watched Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin, which was the one that kind of went on to Paramount Plus last year, which we didn't kind of get Paramount Plus until earlier this year, so I kind of missed it. Annoyingly, it actually came out no long after I'd done like my Paranormal Activity marathon, so I was just like, kind of missed that one out. So like, I just decided to kind of pop it on last night. I thought it was great. Like, I actually think it's been the best one in a long, long time. I mean, obviously, the thing with horrors is there's that kind of low diminishing returns. Like, stuff like keeps coming out and stuff, and like it just gets to that point where it gets really kind of tired. Like by the fourth sequel, you're just like, oh, really, okay then. Oh, they're still tying this in and stuff. This seemed to be like fresh take. I mean, I'd potentially need to kind of go back and look up like what stuff's called and what have you, and just to see if there isn't any kind of linking. But this seemed like a completely kind of separate story. And it says, like, excellent, built the atmosphere really well. I mean, like, you've got the standard tropes. I mean, I was sitting there and like going, like, red flag. Why are you not gone home yet? Go home. Why are you still here? Run away, kind of thing. But they didn't. But yeah, like way better than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And then Werewolves Within. And now, despite what some people might think, this one definitely has been on my radar for a bit, because a few years back I watched a movie called Scare Me. I definitely kind of talked about that in one of my videos as well. No, I think I've got a huge kind of viewer base, but anyway, basically, Scare Me was this kind of like really kind of low budget kind of like thing where it's like it's like two folks in a cabin telling scary stories to each other. Now you think that that's kind of, all right, okay, fairly redundant, but it plays with it so well. So it's like for it, like you didn't, it's like almost like an anthology, but without seeing the clips. That's probably the best way to describe it. So they're like they're doing all these scary stories and what have you, but like they're describing everything, and then you'll hear the sound effects, and there's like a musical number and stuff like that as part of the kind of thing. Absolutely kind of love Scare Me. So I've been kind of keeping an eye on like whatever Josh Ruben's been kind of doing next. And so he done Werewolves Within, which was the thing I obviously kind of watched last night as well. Which is basically, it's like a kind of murder mystery but involving werewolves, and it's actually weirdly it's based off a video game as well, which was like really kind of odd. So it's something that I think I was going to watch last year, and then I just kind of like I tend to kind of overdo it when it comes to October, and so like I'll buy a whole bunch of kind of like Blu-rays, because I'm still like a collector type person and stuff. So it got nearer to the end, and I still kind of missed it out. So yeah, unfortunately, I missed that one out last year. However, rectified that this year, and I again really enjoyed it. It's got that kind of it's very kind of like, it's very fun, very tongue in cheek kind of thing. Um, there's a whole kind of like proper creepy element, but at the same time, like you can't help but laugh at all like the like ridiculous kind of like characters are in it as well. So yeah, like I was expecting no less for Josh Ruben with regard to that as well. So yeah, Werewolves Within, very good. And then tonight, I may still watch something else, but I don't think I'll watch anything new. So if I watch anything, it'll be like a more old school thing. So tonight I watched The Night House, which is directed by the guy that directed The Ritual, and apologies, I can't remember your name. And stars Rebecca Hall, basically in the aftermath of like a personal kind of tragedy kind of thing. So she loses her husband, and then she basically kind of goes back to the house that he effectively built, and then weird shit starts happening. It was an odd one, but again, like I quite enjoyed it. Slow burner. I know that that's probably no for everybody, but I quite liked it, because it was there's a bit of a mystery element going on. So like the whole film, I was sitting there going, what's going on? What's the deal here? And like things that you think are fairly obvious end up no being obvious. Like it's like probably better not to kind of elaborate too much, but yeah, it was quite creepy. Some get like I always kind of like I always favor a horror that if it's got like a moment whereby there's something creepy in the background, and it doesn't kind of do the kind of music where it's like da da dun, so like you're just like yeah, kind of like it's a forced jump scare. So like if something's in the background and it just kind of lingers on it, or like it just kind of leaves it kind of like in the background, and you didn't kind of hear any music or whatever, you just like see something crawling past or standing in the background, or like doing nothing. For example, the Haunting a Hill House does that fantastically, because there's like several moments throughout that entire series whereby there's random ghosts in the background that they call no attention to whatsoever. They're just there. I definitely noticed way more than like Vaughn did when we watched it, but like yeah, that was awesome. So this has got like quite a few of these moments, and Rebecca Hall, as always, was like brilliant in it. I really liked her like performance. She obviously kind of plays it very broken and what have you, and but yeah, Night House, very kind of creepy, very slow burner. That one's on Disney Plus as well. I'm trying. What I'm going to try and do. I was saying this like my friend who actually also kind of does this. I think partly to blame because of me, because I think he saw what was there. He's like, I like that. I'm going to do that as well. So he's been doing it for the last couple of years, as well. So I said to him, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and watch something like one new thing every single day, and then like potentially just like kind of go back to some old school classics, because like the perfect opportunity to kind of revisit kind of like films that I like. I'll definitely rewatch American Werewolf and so on and so forth, kind of thing. So, yeah. So next time, so tomorrow, I'm actually like it's a cinema trip tomorrow, so I'm going to go and see Smile. Don't know too much about it. Looking forward to it. So yeah, I'll give you my kind of thoughts on that either tomorrow or the day after. So yeah, since my first video, I have watched brand new, so House of Wax. I watched Possession of Hannah Grace. I watched try to kind of remember them all now. So Werewolves Within. I watched Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, and then Night House. So 5 new things since then. So like I am pretty much kind of tanking through. So at the moment I'm at 11 films and I'm already like 4 days in. So doing well. So yeah. If you've got any other recommendations, please pop them in comments and what have you. And feel free to kind of tell me how shit you think these videos as well. Like I'm like trying to put myself out there. I'm trying to kind of keep this going this year, because I know I kind of let it fall by the wayside. But thanks for watching if you are actually watching, and I'll talk to you again at some point soon.